inside. But then again, it's a bit dark in there.
No, if someone does come inside, then it's all good. Alright, it's filming, yeah?
Cool, so it's filming already.
Yeah.
It's filming already.
No, it just started. Oh, not true. Sup everyone, how are we? I'm with Max and Lee.
Hi.
Hey.
Oh, God. I thought you were going to do
Max
the old,
wishes
like,
it
Max
that
and
time.
So
Lee,
second time at it now.
Yeah. So today, anyway, we're going to talk about training splits and how often should you be training, or what should you be doing in the training sessions. Because we see a lot of people going to the gym, especially like gym where we train, and maybe they're not utilising their workout or their time effectively or well enough. So,
or just don't have a clue what they do.
or don't clue what to do,
Yeah.
which is understandable.
It's quite common.
It's quite common.
I think some people as well, they overestimate the position that they're at. They go for quite advanced training systems, start belting everything. Right, I'm going to do biceps, and next day it's triceps, and then it's back, and then it's pecs, and then it's legs. And I've got to separate legs from hamstrings and calves. And maybe in your first 6 months of training, you know, you really want to build up a bit of a base, and then get to the point where you need to split.
Yeah,
If you're doing something like that, it's because of recovery.
That's a good point. Maybe you should have picked that up maybe 10 minutes later. Maybe gone into the flow. But it's a very good point. I think people start when they go online, they go to bodybuilding.com or anywhere, and they pick up this intense program, like from Kai Green, whatever, and it's just like beasting you.
Googling, I want to get big program.
Yeah, or even like, even if it's like fat loss, it's doing too much too soon. Yeah, and then it's to the point where injury occurs, you get demotivated, you just get battered, you feel knackered when you wake up in the morning.
I mean, to me, your first 6 months, you want to be sort of learning your body, what it's capable of, what it's not capable of. I mean, it takes a long time before you can actually isolate muscles and stuff like that individually. You know, that sort of mind-muscle connection, that muscle control comes with a little bit of experience.
It does. So, by the way,
sounds kind of elitist.
Let's see your hair.
Oh, see the hair.
Yeah, bad boy.
The Spartan man.
Actually, put the cap back on. Put it back on. Put it back on.
Hide it away again. Hide it away.
Yeah, please. No, I'm joking.
I was Spartaning at the weekend, so that's what that's for.
Yeah, exactly. Dislike.
Oh God.
Hashtag this out.
Lee done Spartan on the weekend.
We had a hell of a lot of fun.
Yeah. How was your training for that?
How long did I train for it?
Well, yeah. How long were you training? What was your training split for that?
I think I've been training for them sort of things for the last 2 or 3 years now, because all my training is very much sort of
a little bit louder.
A little bit louder because of the thing is, my training's changed dramatically over the last few years, so I no longer do a lot of strength training. Everything's sort of endurance training or speed training, so I'm building up a lot of explosive speeds, a lot of body weight stuff, and I think everything that I'm doing sort of just leads you naturally towards doing these obstacle races. Being good at your body weight, being able to move from A to B as quickly as possible.
Like relative strength. Absolute strength.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are really good when it comes to a barbell, but when it comes to a chin-up or doing something in a sort of static position, they fall flat, you know, and it's very impressive in the gym, but you can't actually transfer that into real life and being able to move.
That's one thing, idiot that you are, you're super good at bodyweight stuff.
Yeah. I've seen the chin-up videos and all that sort of palaver. And that jumping video you did the other week.
There's the one-arm chin-up that I've got coming up. But you know, that's enough about me, guys. Don't worry about it. You just stick with your little weights.
This will be a separate video, yeah.
Yeah, I'll try and edit in his little muscle up somewhere on the screen to see.
Or I'll shoot a new video and just
for fun. Is your wrist alright, you know?
It's like not bad actually now. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, it's getting.
Talking about his wrist is like he can't move his wrist.
Oh yeah, I've got very little pronation on the wrist.
There's no pronation.
Super stability.
It's the excuse why I can't bench press anymore. My arm doesn't work anymore.
But talking about going back to the start, with people in their first 6 months of training, what should their plan look like really for you?
Well, for me personally, I like whenever I'm training somebody who has very little training age. It's always about
not real age, training age.
Training age, not.
So I like that.
Yeah, so if you can be 40, but actually, if you've never stepped foot in a gym, then your training age is 0.
So 3 months.
Yeah.
When a baby grows.
You have to run all in one. You don't. Just check it.
Don't do that, please.
Well, you can, but it might look a bit odd. But no, for me, it's all about fundamentals. Learning movement mechanics, learning how to do the movements in general, so like your pushes, your pulls, your deadlifts, your squats, everything like that. Get them in place first. You know, it goes back to the age-old adage of you can't build a house without foundations. So if you can't deadlift or you can't squat, there's no point overhead squatting or lunging or anything because you just go on.
No, that's fine. But obviously, those like like push pull, hinge, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
That should be in anyone's program. All the
Oh,
time.
massive. Oh, yeah, 100%. But what my issue with it is people jump into progression. Yeah, progression. They go right. In my program is a deadlift, but if you can't deadlift, then what's the point of then moving forward into doing like I don't know? Yeah, exactly.
I mean the first 6 months as well. I think you know, you put a program in place for somebody and you say, right, we're going to train 3 times a week. More often than not, they only manage 2. So it's like, well, right, if we split this up too much, you're going to miss a session here and miss a session there. To me, to start off with, you're doing a variation between sort of exercises. So if you do squat and then you go on to, let's say, an overhead press, you know, you're giving your legs a little bit of rest while you go on to your next one. And any more than twice a week on that is going to get to sort of progress. But when you're first starting, you can sort of smash the hell out of the whole body, you know, and then progress it later on, sort of thing, and start separating things.
I think like if you train up to 3 weeks, you should be full body. Yeah. Like if you're young with your training age, like Max, if you haven't been training like consistently for like 6 months or 2 years, even 6 months is quite new to it. But that should be for me like if it's Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, for instance, you can do full body.
I think
so people think 6 months is a long time, and you're like, in the process of your life, 6 months is like this. You think about how quickly Christmas has come and gone. If people had started on the New Year's resolution and continued it on, it's month 10 now. We would have been 10 months down the line. We would have been a much better, fitter sort of person at this point. And that's not a very long time. It's not a...
No, sure.
So that's sort of change.
Like, when I talk about it well, people go for promotions at work, and they spend 2 years chasing promotion, 2 years saving up for a car, 2 years to move into a house to have kids, and they can't spend 6 months.
But we were talking about this in the last vid with a 30-day sort of transformation and all this sort of thing.
I mean, it's about training for longevity.
It is 100% for health.
Yeah.
And whether your goal is like fat loss, whatever it may be, there's still underlying principle of it should be health, should be movement and performance.
Yeah. I mean, also for me, like, there's not really such thing as a fat loss program. Because if your diet's in place and obviously your training's relatively intense, okay, you can switch it around and say, well, strength training is not necessarily built for fat loss, but it's all about the intensity of that session. So there's no point doing, various different exercises. You can chuck in whatever you want, all the different angles, all the different things. But actually, if your weight you're using is too light, or the weight you're not utilising the actual muscle, the contraction of the muscle, there's various ways of intensity and overloading.
So how could you do it? So obviously you're talking about like rest periods once.
I'm talking about rest periods. I'm talking about weight of choice, and anything, because a lot of people underestimate the intensity of their sessions. 90% of people come to me and they go, I train, I do supersets, do that, and you're thinking, great, that's brilliant, but actually their supersets are one exercise, have a little break, check your phone, then the next exercise, check your phone, have a look at it,
status okay, I'm a nightmare for that. I'm going to change the music, but I need the perfect music, and I'm going to spend 3 minutes to find that track,
check your shoes.
I'm doing Scots, I'm like, I could deal with I need a good song.
I need something to back it out.
Yeah, I'm like searching for 5 minutes.
One of my bugbears, that is. Set your bloody playlist up before.
A point I have got to make as well, though, is when a lot of people, it's just especially young guys, myself included, when we first come in, we're a little bit chubby, a little bit out of shape, and we're like, right, we want to get massive, we want to be like Arnold Schwarzenegger, and you're over 20% body fat, your hormones aren't really in a place. You've generally got a little bit of insulin insensitivity. Your hormones aren't in a really optimal place to be able to build up lean muscle. So what you generally end up building is more fat, more water. So you're putting on more fat and more water onto a body that's already smooth, and it becomes a bit of a smooth, voluptuous.
What a look!
Fat is just a swear word. We're dealing with voluptuous, curvy, that sort of thing.
Curvaceous.
Yeah, that's a really good one. But you go ahead like that, and all you're doing is you're just putting more crap on top of the physique. I think if you're over that 20% body fat, you need to come down first and do that sort of, right, I need to work on the fitness, I need to work on my fat, on my diet and all that sort of thing. Get that in place, and then you can start building up that lean mass if you want to get bigger.
Very similar to kind of what we got into, like 20%. How far do I go away from the goals in their kind of training age? So we define it by that, pretty much to show, like you say, work on diet. But there's other basics that need to go in first, and like you say, people often get kind of sucked into that cycle of reading magazines, of looking at the articles online and seeing transformations, go that route. and already over 20-25% body fat and haven't got the foundations in place.
Well, a lot of the articles, I've done one on my blog not long ago, and it was about
runleerun.com.
Yeah, when I ever get round to actually updating it again, it was about when you originally start losing body fat, it takes time. It's very hard to do. When you've already done it before, if you sit on your backside for 6 months and just let that weight creep back up, which is what I'm doing right now, it's very easy and it's very quick to let it to bring it all back off. So you can have these really like dramatic transformations of people who look relatively fat. They've always covering the legs though, because the legs are generally the last place for men to store body fat, so they always look quite lean. So they bulk up sort of 30 pounds, and then over the space of sort of 6 to 8 weeks they bring the six pack out and look incredible. And you're like, this is because their body is really good with dealing with carbs, with fats, and using fat as an energy source. So the second or the third time round of getting ripped, it's much easier than the first time doing it. The first time takes a lot of work, a lot of effort, and a lot of time.
I guess it depends as well on how you do it, because a lot of people go into the point where they're on their diet, they're too restrictive.
Yeah.
And then the fourth, fifth, sixth time they do that on that flip side becomes a lot harder to lose weight, because their metabolism starts to adapt and slow down.
Yeah.
But that's another story.
Yeah, complete off track again. Let's make talking about diet. I'm thinking about how good that's.
But
I think common misconception of basics are boring. People don't.
Common misconception.
No, yeah. I mean, do you know what I mean? In terms of, because if we say it boringly, people go, oh yeah, it is actually quite boring. But no, the thing is, like, if you ask, like, for example, if someone asked me to write them a program and I just put deadlift, bench press, pull-ups, and a squat in there. There you go.
Yeah.
People are going to look at that and go, you lazy bastard. And they'd be right. They're not right. But no, but do you know what I mean? But then you shorten the rest between that. One of my best ever sessions is those 4 exercises. Actually, not in that order, but one of my best ever sessions is just those 4 exercises. You have a minute in between each. But it's a giant set. So
it's
rather than
horrendous.
And it's grim.
It's grim.
But if you actually can, but then again.
But they're very technical lifts, so that
they are very technical lifts. But what I'm saying is you can break that down and put in other variations. Instead of, if you can't do pull up, then bent over row, or
if you really want to kill somebody, do that German volume training, the 10 sets of 10 with a 4 negative, 2 positive, and a minute in between rest. It's just like, right, if you manage to get the 6-7 sets, you're incredible. If you get 10, you're not going to walk properly the next day. You're going to be down at the toilet first thing, sitting down, because you've got to sit down to pee after that, and then you're not going to get up. It's going to be hoping somebody passes the bathroom to help you up.
But then again, this is again like the other issue that I have with people googling.
So where can they?
There are other search terms.
So
you don't have to just Google it.
No. So where can people find information then?
Well, it's incredibly difficult. It's incredibly difficult, but I think it's understanding actually where you are at the moment. So where if you're straight in, then actually, do you know what, German volume training is probably not for you, because your work capacity is more likely going to be absolute shite.
So being software.
If you work for a living, unless the rest of the day is spent sort of like getting a massage and somebody else preparing your meals and able to sort of recovery, then it's going to just
that's the.
So do you think, like, if people train, say most people train 3 times a week when they start, 4 times a week, I'd always say 3 times a week is a good base to start. If you've got the capacity to do 4 times, but I think for a lot of people starting out, that's
let's say you've got somebody who's been training for 6 months and they're training 3 times a week solid, and sometimes they train 4. I would sort of say, right, 1 day is a cardio day, so you're just doing a solid state cardio, just building up that VO2 max, getting used to being out on your feet, to doing running, and then do a leg day, a push and a pull, so you're really easily separating it. But there's a million different ways you could do this. You can transfer it into different lifts. You could have a bench, a bench and.
That's not overcomplicated people. We're trying to simplify.
Yeah, simplify things.
So push pull.
Yeah, push, pull, and a leg day, because everybody misses the legs. But train the whole legs, train the hamstrings, train the calves, and train the quads.
So do you think then, like, doing that, but let's say doing like 3 sets of 10 is a good place to start?
I mean, again, my issue with like body part splits are people don't have the knowledge that necessarily we do. Do you know what I mean? In terms of like you're trying. Well, I was actually thinking about myself. I just wanted to include these 2 guys in it, so they didn't feel left out. But no, like, do you know what I mean? So, like, people go, well, I'm going to do a leg day. Now, 90% of people go, all right, where do I start? Squat. What's next? Okay,
squats.
right. Oh, do you know what I mean? Yeah, no.
Squats after that.
Okay, no, apparently it was rhetorical. But do you know what I mean? Then you start looking at it and going maybe like a Romanian deadlift, maybe looking at something else. But then if you start looking at but then there comes a point where you start drying up your exercises, so your leg day becomes massively boring because you can't actually. Well, it's monotonous because you can't build on it. Do you know what I mean? People like I'm very aware of. Like, and even in Bulgarian split squats, people are scared of doing them because you have the thing of, oh, you need to go past your toes and all this sort of stuff.
Which is bullshit.
Which is, but you know, there's.
What to do with your levers.
But it go into femur length and hip mobility and all these sort of things, which I won't. But it's the classic case of people set up a workout, and go, yeah, this is great. 2 weeks down the line, 3 weeks down the line, a month, starting to get bored of it. Now what? Now you're stuck because now you don't know what you're doing because you don't know any progressions of those exercises. You can't think of any more variations on, some sort of hamstring curl, and then various, and then like a couple of weeks in, then you start to lose interest because now it's really boring.
Do you not think people overcomplicate their workouts? So I mean, you see
people
guys in the
overcomplicate
gym,
them, absolutely.
People do like I think there's one flip
It's not
side.
thinking like they're trying to train biceps and say, right, there's bicep curls. Oh, but I'm going to make this difficult. I'm going to lie on the floor with the cables and I'm going to take up all this space and do it on the floor. And you're like, this is exactly the same as doing a standing up with a cable, but you're laying on the floor. It's just you're getting your t-shirt dirty for nothing, and you're having to get up for nothing. So the lazy side of me.
No, the lazy side just stays lying there.
Yeah, in between sets.
Yeah, just between sets.
Put it back.
Or they start bringing benches out, and putting the benches in between the cable crossovers.
Alright, so I think you have one flip side of people doing too little exercises, doing the squats.
No,
maybe
it's not necessarily too little.
Or keeping it the same.
Yeah,
and it's because the biggest thing is progressive overload.
Yeah,
and actually,
definitely.
Each week on week, increasing it in some way, shape, or form in terms of like reps, sets, tempo.
Whether you're making the exercise harder, or whether you put more weights on your back, or even if you do things like slowing it down.
Exactly.
But once you're more advanced, I think speed days are monstrously underrated, and that's where you're using maybe 60% of your max lift and just banging out 3 reps, and doing multiple sets, building up that sort of intensity.
It's a further down line though.
Yeah, but it's a more advanced thing,
It is. Only for advanced people.
not truly advanced. I'm not elitist or anything. I just mean people who are a little bit more advanced.
So how many exercises should people generally put in a program? You think like a push pull leg, 6 to 8 exercises?
I'd say 6. Yeah, I'd say 6 to 8.
See, this is where it's really controversial here because when I was powerlifting, I would train for 3 hours a day. I think I was going for it all the time. And now, if I'm in the gym for 40 minutes, I'm a wreck at the end of it. And to me, if you can train hard and you keep that heart rate up and you keep that intensity up, you can't go past about 40, 50 minutes. If you're getting to the hour, you've got to sort of look at yourself and go, hold on, have I really pushed this here?
I think because I think if there's like a certain performance-based goal at the end of it, whether it is some sort of like football, whatever it may be, or powerlifting or whatever sport related, then an hour more may be okay. But if it's fat loss, if it's like increased, or better body composition, whatever it may be, then an hour is probably the top you should go for.
Yeah, definitely.
And 40 to 60, 50 minutes is probably where I sit.
I've got to sort of say about powerlifting, I absolutely loved my powerlifting days, but unless you've got that suicidal sort of edge, proper idiot, I wouldn't go for that extreme sort of strength training.
1 rep.
That's why
I'm off for it. It's always time to sort his playlist out.
It's 1 rep and then it's like 10 minutes in between of you see some of the guys now. Training has obviously progressed since I've done it, but you see some of the guys now, it's like 1 rep and then they wander around with a foam roller, pretend they're doing something like eating Haribo's because that's spiking their insulin level, and you're like, oh man, this is terrible, man.
I don't know. Like there would be an argument for. Again, this is not diet. There's an argument for intra-workout carbs. Massively intra-workout.
But I don't think for
or sour sweets. Not necessarily the best option, but there is an argument.
But in terms of for fat loss, in terms of just average people,
if you want to look good and feel good, it's a very different type of workout.
If you're spending an hour in the gym and you're eating in between it, there's something horribly going wrong. It's like the woman that ran the marathon and had a sandwich halfway around. It's a true story. this marathon. There's a marathon somewhere around it.
You've never been to an ultramarathon, have you? Literally,
Everyone-
that is 3 miles and then bags of jelly babies at Haribo's, jam sandwiches,
that's an ultramarathon.
anything you can stick down.
That's
When they
like-
say ultramarathon, we're not really running, we're sort of walking, taking in the sights and just picking out. It's an excuse to
Well,
make
some
yourself
people are running.
fat.
I think you're just walking.
I was gonna
Yeah,
say,
it's probably just me.
there are people in front of you, Lee. You know, remember that.
Yeah, the good runners, yeah, they're running, you
Did I
know.
come last in the race? Like, it's just you chilling at the end.
It's when you're walking along, googling the place, going right, is there any calves on the way?
Let's summarise it then. So in
Yeah.
terms of like a good split, people training 3 to 4 times a week. We kind of mentioned that it should be kind of push pull legs, cardio, or push pull, incorporate legs into that.
Yeah.
40-60 minutes is kind of roughly the kind of limit you want to be at. And yeah, anyway, 6 to 8 rep exercises, varying up the sets and increasing that kind of progressive overload.
And remember your stretching.
And
Yeah,
one thing
that
they
is a
haven't massively
huge
touched
point.
on. Max loves it, you love it, I love it. Warm up.
Yeah.
Mobility work is massively important. If you want to stay supple, want to stay, I guess, conditioned for the rest of your life.
It makes a huge difference with injury prevention. It starts a recovery process, you know, and it's something I wish I'd done sort of 20 years ago when I first started training.
But that's a whole other.
Yeah.
Right, we're going to take another half an hour doing that. But love it. Appreciate you watching. If you do like it, please give a like and a share. If you don't like his hair, give it a dislike. All right, have a little comment.
The big
I was
tail.
gonna say comment why. Comment what colour it should be.
It's supposed to be Spartan red.
It's kind of.
The worrying thing.
Oh,
is-
it's been washed a couple of times since then. The
The worrying
amount
thing is
of
it
mud
started
that
a
was on
different
me
colour at the
yesterday.
start of the race. The start of the race was a different colour. We don't know what's
It's
in
green
it
at the start.
Yeah.
The thing is, you had the Spartans there with
What's in
the
the
full
water?
kit on, and they didn't have the red mane, they had a black mane. I was really disappointed.
Love it. Right, anyway, take it easy. Have a lovely day.
Thanks
Enjoy
for
it.
watching,
See you
guys.
soon.
See you later.
Bye.
Have a good one.